time for Grizz Beat, a full-court press of highlights, insights, and debate around the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Tune in each week on the latest conversations with regional and national insiders locked in on the Grizzlies. Running point from Grind City Media Studios, our host, Jason Smith.
Welcome to Grizz Beat. I am your host, Jason Smith of 92.9 FM ESPN. And yes, it's been a rough 15-game start for the Memphis Grizzlies. There's just no way around it. Maybe that's why all of us are wearing black today. We'll get to that in a minute. Now, hopefully, we're going to be coming out of this soon, but it's been 9 of 10 that the Grizzlies have lost after that 111-100 loss last night to the San Antonio Spurs on the road. Can they dig themselves out of it? Now, with Ja Morant sidelined with a calf strain for the next 2 weeks, we're going to weave our way through it like we do every Wednesday at 3 p.m. Make sure you got your notification set to join us here on Grizz Beat. Let's get to our fantastic panel. We don't have Jarvis Greer this week. He is in the Bahamas. While we're working, Jarvis is in the Bahamas with the Tigers. We're going to go to work. To my left is the underground king of Memphis sports media, the great Anthony Sane, host of the Anthony Sane Show on Bluff City Media. Sane, I got to say it, congratulations again on a beautiful wedding ceremony that you had last weekend, bro.
They see it, man.
Was an absolute wonderful time. I experienced more joy at your wedding them couple hours than I have all this Grizz season. I'll just be honest with you. Next to Sane is the guru, the man, Michael Wallace, senior editor, contributor, and analyst for Grind City Media, back in the studio and off that tough 0-4 road trip. It's good to have you back, Mike.
Yeah, man, it's good to be back, man. Hopefully we can turn this around. We're all in black, but not all of us is rocking the gold and the shine like you got right there, man.
Maybe I better put it away. It looks like it's distracting Michael there a little bit. That's a nice boulevard for you there.
There you go.
Let's be real. That's for the lower tier guys. We pull off the boulevards, man. I know you've seen a lot better around here. And of course, and I'm so happy that she's back via Zoom, Stephanie Reddy joins us again this week as our national NBA contributor, having covered the NBA for 2 decades. Stephanie, things feel like they've only gotten more difficult for the Grizzlies since the last time we saw you. You ready?
Yes, I'm ready. I was born ready. I don't know. I feel bad for you guys, though, because you didn't get a break. I at least got to step away and come back.
It's okay. Well, we're going to need you. We're going to need you as we navigate our way through. That's our panel for this week's show. We've got the fantastic CJ Hurt over there on the ones and twos, keeping us in line and on time. And we've got a great team here at Grizz Beat taking care of us that we're grateful for. So, like we always do, now to our starting 5, the top 5 storylines surrounding the Memphis Grizzlies, who, despite dropping their 5th straight game last night, do appear to have gotten a lift, particularly defensively, from the return of Zach Edey. Michael, you lead us off. What was your biggest takeaway from the loss to the Spurs last night?
You know, just the energy that this team played with. When you look at that game in totality, I've been around this team for all 14, 15 games, right? I saw a different level of energy, a different level of those guys being connected. They seemed like they were playing for one another. But the thing is, the shots just weren't falling. So what the Grizzlies have to do in this situation is continue to press forward, right? Build on the positives. And we've seen a couple of the positives. And 2 of those positives, number 1, first and foremost, was Tuomas Iisalo tweaking his starting lineup and realizing, don't worry about working Zach Edey back in gradually from the bench. Put him in. He's your starting center, and he's played like that. Same thing with Cedric Coward as well. He gave him 2 weeks to try to figure out ways not to start him. Right. Now you got to start him. So those are 2 things that had to happen. The other thing the biggest takeaway from last night is that the Grizzlies have to figure out how to finish these games. And we're going to talk about this as the show unfolds. But, 16 points, getting outscored 32-16 in Cleveland 2 games ago in the 4th quarter. Last night, you only scored 14 points in the 4th quarter to give away that game in San Antonio that you could have won. But back to the positives, I had a chance to catch up with both, with Iisalo as well as the 2 new members of the starting 5 over the last couple of days about what that transition has been like. So take a listen.
It's a challenging situation because both guys have done a great job for us. We would like to play them a lot. Both guys are also starting for us, but at the same time, we have to be smart because their future is also very important for us. So making sure we make good decisions right here, especially with those 2 guys.
Absolutely. I mean, we got Zach back. Unfortunately, 12 went down. We still have Ty and Scotty down. So we're missing pieces, very important pieces. But at the same time, we as a team, guys are stepping up, and we're right there. I mean, a few plays go our way in terms of like we can box out and get a rebound, or some shots fall that we're in and out, or there's so many intricacies of the game that can happen that we may, instead of they come back in that early fourth, we may maybe extend the lead, or at least keep that gap, and then instead of going into the final 6 minutes tied or down 1 or up 1, we go up 2 or up 5 or whatever it may be. So.
Yeah, we definitely felt the mileage, but I mean, the way that we go in play groups, the way we go up and down, like getting prepared, really kind of helped my body. Like, I saw my teammates, I think damn near some of the play groups were harder than the game. Like the way we get up and down, the way we sprint nonstop. Like, we got coaches, great staff here that just push you. They seem like they can run forever, so it's just kind of, I was really acclimatized a little bit.
Zach, you said coming into this season that you didn't just want to pick up where you left off at the end of last year. You wanted to be even better than that. And it looked like in those minutes you played, 25, you were able to show a little bit of everything there. Just how gratifying is that? You know how good you can be, but just to show that in the first effort.
Yeah, it definitely felt good. I'd be lying if I said I wish I could have done more this summer in terms of my skill development, but you just getting out there, kind of having that feel, knowing that coach trusts me to kind of play the way I like to play, just helps me so much.
Coach said, obviously you're a guy that wants to play as much as you can, but they also have to think long term too, and not try to put too many minutes on you right now. How do you sort of balance that?
I don't balance it. I go in when coach tells me to go in, play as hard as I can until he tells me off.
Love to see it. Love the lift that those two have provided, certainly, but it's also coincided, and Stephanie will come to you with Ja Morant sustaining that grade 1 right calf strain in the Grizzlies' road loss at the Cavaliers. That was on Saturday. Injuries affecting the entire league. We know that. How big a blow, Stephanie, is Ja's injury for the Grizz compared to what we're seeing across the league?
When you look at the rash of injuries across the NBA, Ja's injury is unfortunate for sure, but it's not apocalyptic. I mean, there are some teams that are missing their key player and will be out for the year. We don't know when Tatum's coming back. Houston, they were going to be a contending team especially with the trade they made, but now Fred VanVleet's out for the year. I mean, the list goes on. There are players that are done for the season. And this is really unfortunate because of the timing, right? With them trying to get back on the right side of things, getting other bodies back from being injured, and now they're back healthy. But it's just a couple of weeks is what we're hoping, right? It doesn't seem like he will be out for an extended period of time. So the Grizzlies will fortunately be able to bounce back if they can get everybody back healthy, everyone on the same page. So I feel like it's not detrimental. It's not fatal, if you will, to the season. It's just really unfortunate.
Yep, no, you're right about that. And we saw it there for about 6 minutes against the Cleveland Cavaliers, where you had that lineup. You had Edey out there and Coward with Ja Morant, and boy, did it look good for those 6 before Ja went down. This one's for the entire panel. Should the Grizzlies be better set up than the Spurs right now? You were ahead of them at one point to contend in the West. Sane, we'll start it with you.
No, not this season, not at all. Too many injuries, man. Too much drama, too much on-the-court drama. Off the court drama. I talk a lot about last season being a real toxic year for the Grizzlies. This is worse. Like, this is pretty bad. And seeing the game yesterday, just as an example of it, you had the Spurs team. Yeah, they didn't have Wemby. They didn't have their best player, but their second best player was ready for the moment. De'Aaron Fox was ready for the moment yesterday.
And
he was
closed
big.
it out.
He was big in the fourth quarter.
Yep.
And Jaren was not last night. Jaren struggled in that fourth quarter of that game. And you also had a veteran and a guy like Harrison Barnes, who was huge towards the end of that game for the final stretch of it. And, our veteran on that team is, KCP is our old head, and he's had a disappointing season this year as well. So even though both of us are missing our best player, the Spurs had 2 veteran players who were able to get that team over the hump. On top of the crazy injuries we've had this year and all the drama we've had with this team as well.
Michael, do you agree in the grand scope of things? Do you agree that the Spurs have sort of moved to that, and rightfully so?
I agree that they've moved ahead, but not rightfully so. And I say, yes, the Grizzlies should be better positioned right now to contend in the West than the Spurs because they have the experience, they have the payroll, and the expectations were set. We're moving the needle now because of what we've seen through the first 3 weeks of this season. But at the end of the day, if you have Jaren Jackson Jr. and Ja Morant, and they're both on max to semi-max contracts, right, you have the continuity of these guys there. You have, Edey coming back. You add a lottery pick in Cedric Coward. You chose to shake up your coaching situation, right? So whatever instability that's shown is something that was self-inflicted from that standpoint. The Grizzlies should not be taking this far of a step backwards as it relates to the Western Conference. The Spurs, yes, Wemby's is phenomenal.
Sure.
We all came into this season saying San Antonio will be fortunate if they can make a play-in. That would be their natural next progression. But for them to be, trending towards top 5 and the Grizzlies to be trending towards bottom 5, that's not the way it was supposed to be going.
Stephanie, where are you at? I must say, I agree with Michael that timeline-wise, and because it's year 7 and year 8 for Ja and what you're paying them, that maybe the Grizzlies should be further ahead, that the Grizzlies should be than the Spurs. Where are you at on this?
Right. I mean, I think Michael brings up some really good points. They should be, and I know that's how the question was worded, but I interpreted it as, should they be in this moment? And it's a hard no for me. It's not just the injuries. Yes, the injuries are there. The injuries are there to key personnel. But there's more at stake and there's more uncertainty than just healthy bodies. I mean, we're not even sure if they are buying into what Iisalo is preaching. We don't know if they're going to buy in on either side of the ball, defensively or offensively. Part of that is because we haven't seen all the pieces of the puzzle together yet. But part of it also is because we've heard rumblings. So if there's some disgruntledness in the locker room, that is going to be an issue, injuries aside. So I do not think that they will be anywhere near the Spurs in the Western Conference.
Saying you've got the next one. I mean, Cedric Coward's the most exciting player to watch on the floor right now for the Memphis Grizzlies. I'll just give him his due. 19 and 11 last night in the loss to the Spurs. What should be the expectations now for Coward, saying now that he's a starter?
I would love to see him be more aggressive, to be more assertive, not worry about the pecking order or perceived pecking order. If guys ain't gonna step up, go step up, man.
If they're not going to close,
I think he's got the talent to really be a guy who can, because he was doing it in that game, yesterday against the Spurs or whatever. I want to say he scored like 8 straight, hit a big 3-pointer, put him up 1.
Yep.
If other guys aren't going to step up, hey, call for the ball, man. Hey, call 23. You know what I mean? Until 12 and 8 go there, man. He's got the talent to go there. So I would love to see him be more aggressive and just really see what all we have.
He had Reggie Miller going nuts yesterday, just about his overall game. You're pulling down rebounds, other end, you're shooting a 3, knocking it down, gave him the lead.
Draymond gave him high praise today. Yeah, go do your thing, man. Go do your thing.
Yeah, what did Draymond? Speaking of that, I mean, it applies to Cedric Coward and your starting 5 question there. What did you make of Draymond's comments about Cedric Coward? I know we take Draymond with a grain of salt around here, but at the end of the day, when he comes correct, he comes correct.
Yeah, Draymond, sometimes he's the worst guy saying the best things sometimes, but that's a good one. Like, I think Coward has a lot of potential to be a Kawhi Leonard level player, like he said. I think the Jordan stuff is comical. I mean, it's entertaining. We all, get into it sometimes with the Jordan comps or whatever. But he says a really good player, man. I think Draymond hit the nail on the head. He's a good defender. He's got the long arms. He's got the wingspan. Something that he said that a lot of people haven't really said is the pace. That he didn't let you speed him up. He plays at almost a perfect pace for the game. And I think the Coward can be a beast, man. I think and we talk about Draymond, but basketball knowledge and basketball IQ is something that Draymond doesn't lack. And I think when he calls out a guy in a good way, he knows. He did the same thing with Ja, a few years ago. So yeah.
Yeah. Now, Stephanie, we're digging Draymond today. We like him today because he obviously said that Cedric Coward he thought could be Kawhi Leonard-ish. And that's when you're looking for bright spots in a season like this, you're absolutely going to take that. And Cedric has absolutely backed it up so far. Last question of our starting 5 is for the entire group. At what point should Grizzlies general manager Zach Kleiman consider a major roster move? Stephanie, why don't you start us off with this one?
Now and always. That's my answer. We've talked about this on previous shows about the job of the basketball operations department for each franchise. And it is to always have your finger on the pulse, right? Always be answering phone calls, always be listening. You never know what kind of deal might pop up. So that is always what they should be doing. But with this team in particular and the circumstance they're in, he needs to be actively pursuing trades. We've heard some talk about what teams might be interested in Ja, or is his value going up or down, right? Because of the suspension, because of the productivity decline in this short part of the early season. It's actually not, it's like one of his worst starts. When you go back to his rookie season, I think you have to get the numbers from his rookie season for it to be worse than this year. So there may be talk about his value going down, but let's be real. Ja Morant is a superstar. Everyone knows that if he's playing at his full capacity and his full potential, he is a game changer. He will impact your franchise immediately. It's just a matter of, will he be happy? And this is where, I know I'm going kind of off on a tangent, but I feel like we have to talk about it when you talk about trading. Players have to be so careful when they are displaying their unhappiness, right? When you're trying to send a message that you want to leave or you want out or you want to be traded, it is fine until it impacts the way you play and perform on the court, because now all future teams that are considering you have to keep in mind, will you be that way on their roster? Because when it's a trade, you don't always have a say in where you end up. So now if you end up in the next city, XYZ, and you don't want to be there, now is your value the same as if you were going to be happy? So players have to be really careful with that. And that's what basketball operations departments are considering when they're considering his value. I think everyone knows he's not happy, but the question is the professionalism, that level, where is it and where will it be if I make a trade for him to come here?
Yeah, really well broken down. You can lose that value in being so unhappy. It's just better, even if you've decided to go separate ways, to at least get on the same page about it. Agree there, Stephanie. Anthony, how about it? Should Kleiman already be considering a major move?
Oh yeah, for sure. That's GM 101. That shouldn't be based on in the current circumstances. You should always be looking to see, what trades are out there. I think for this particular team, they have to see. They have to gauge. I mean, he said this offseason that the team wasn't good enough to be in championship contention, right? And they have to make moves to get towards getting there. And you made one. You moved off of Desmond Bane, and you took a step back to hopefully move forward. You've got Cedric Coward. You got some other pieces coming in the future from that trade or whatever. So I think you constantly have to be looking at those things, not particularly to. And it could go either way. You may say, well, I'm going to trade this guy to bring a player that can make us better now, or I'll make another move that looks like a step back in the right now that prepares us for the future. Because like if there's ever a season to be struggling, ever a season to take a step back, this draft that's coming up this summer is one that you definitely want to take a hard look at. So I think he should always be looking to at those type of things, especially when your guys at the top have so many question marks. Your two guys. I joked about this earlier on my show, how a few years ago we moved off of Dylan Brooks, and we said we're going to base everything around Ja, Jaren, and Dez, right? That was the proclamation.
Yep.
Then we're going to base it around Ja and Jaren. I mean, these are your guys. These are the two you got left. So it's like if you think those are the guys, you go, and if not, you do what you need to do.
Saying's right, Michael. We always thought Ja and Jaren were good enough, right? Put the pieces around them, and those two will be good enough. Is that where we're at now, having to re-ask that question when you look towards whether or not Kleiman should make a move?
Well, I think he definitely needs to look at making a move by December 15th or whenever that deadline is, where the summer free agents open up to be traded, right? You get midway through the season or right around mid-December, and then the guys that you sign, all the signees that were free agents over the summer, are eligible to be traded, and that opens up the pool. So now everybody in the NBA is playing with an equal deck when it comes to potential deals. To me, it comes down to this, guys. Everything that Stephanie said and you said, Jason, are all true. What does Zach Kleiman, how does he value this particular season? Because when you come in, I'm not buying that, hey, we took a step back by trading Desmond Bane, because technically you took a step back, but you ended up with the assets that landed KCP, Cedric Coward, and Ty Jerome. Right. That's not a step back. If anything, that's a collective step ahead. And it should have been, right? And anytime when you have Ja Morant and Jaren Jackson Jr. healthy, and for 7 and 8 years we've been told that these are the franchise guys, if you're underachieving with your franchise guys 7 and 8 years in, then you need to take a hard look at the direction you're going. Yep. Because what we're seeing now is the equal level of excitement starting to build around Cedric Coward and Zach Edey, right? So, as I said on plenty of shows before, and this is just my opinion, there's a parallel right now that the Grizzlies are going down, and at some point this season is going to force them to say, are we going to go this way or that way? And that decision is going to have to be made based on how you feel about this particular season.
Yeah, well said. Well
Good
said.
Good stuff.
A lot there, real good stuff, and it's got to get serious at this point. I agree with you, Michael. Now let's go to the highlights like we do. Our best dunk, dime, and defensive play, where each week our panel is going to vote on the best assembled highlights. Today we're doing it a little different. We're putting the best Grizz highlights of the week up against the best NBA highlights of the week. Here's the best dunk.
Morant, lob. Didn't I say something?
The first half. On the cut. Onyeka with the rim.
yes, oh yeah. Joe, always looking to get off that.
All right. Well, it looked like we got to stay there on dunk. We don't want to get our head of ourselves. All right. No, that was Ja to Edey on the first one. Ja to Edey on the alley-oop.
Yeah.
Which one, in terms of the dunks, were you guys on? Why don't we start with you, Saint, since you're up top?
I want to go with my guy Edey because it was so good to see him come back. But I didn't even see who the other guy was in the other joint, but it was him. That dunk
Hawks guy. Oganku.
Yeah, him. Mm-hmm. That joint looked a little nasty, but it's good to see my guy Edey back on the court.
Stephanie, can we get a Grizz vote here, or are we going to have to go the other way?
They both were decent. I don't think either of them were, jaw-dropping, so to speak. But I can go with the Grizzlies on this one because, first of all, the circumstances. You just have to be so happy that he's back in the game and being productive. So I'm going to go with Edey.
Yep. God bless Jock Landale, but he can't do that. That was the great thing about having Zach Edey back rolling to the basket. You could throw it high. Michael Wallace, which one's the best one for you?
I'm going to go with the clean sweep right there, man, because I know how Big Maple wanted to come back and get this thing done. And he didn't come in, half-stepping. He came in at full go, right? He was ready to go. And when I saw that, I was like, okay, the Grizzlies are back now. This is what we've been waiting on since training camp, preseason, and the regular season, and it lasted 5 minutes and 58 seconds.
Right. You just hate it.
Grand close.
Right. You get the reinforcements back, and then you lose one of the key guys.
Yeah.
Let's move now to best dime. Looks like we've already gotten a preview here.
Screen by Aldama. Vince Williams Jr. picked up 2 early fouls. Got the start tonight. No John Morant with a sore ankle.
Ooh.
Pass by
Okay.
Always looking to get off that three-point shot. Goes behind his back. What a pass! Leading to the jam.
Okay, the behind the back was nasty. Was that Omax? Who made that pass?
That was Omax.
What a pass there. Off top. I'm not trying to affect the voting here, but saying you start us off.
I got to give it to the Omax pass.
Right?
Just on a curve, grading curve, because I didn't know he could do that. So, and poor Jock Landale, So shout out, got to be the Grizzlies.
I'm glad our man Landale caught it, man, and converted there. Stephanie, which one you on?
That was great. I'm going with the first one because the touch pass off the top. I love that. I love the ball movement. I love when you can get a hockey assist. So first one for me.
How about you, Michael?
Man, I'm gonna go with Isaiah Joe to Hardenstein right there. Because the thing about it is behind the back, you know what I mean, and it ended with a dunk. I wanted to see, you just said it before though, Smooth. You said Landale can't dunk the ball, right? So I needed to see a dunk to finish that play, man, to feel better about it. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Oklahoma City. But having said that, my vote doesn't count because they've already won with the Grizzlies one, so we good.
There you go. All right, best defensive play, our last one here. Let's hope it's a Grizzly.
Report on early. Good job there by Vince Williams Jr. to get away from Donovan Mitchell once he got the ball.
Give me that.
On the give, and Thomas. Love the backdoor cut.
Whoa.
Lost it. Done.
That defensive play. What happened there second? Saying you take the lead here.
The wow factor in that second one, because I thought, okay, that was just a traditional steal, but then it was on the other end joint. Yeah, it's the joint on the other side, not the Grizzly joint.
How about you, Stephanie?
I first was very impressed with the block at the rim. I always love that. But because I was a guard, I love the snatch. I have to go with the second one too. When you just snatch it out of somebody's hands, it's almost disrespectful.
Nah, it's not going to be unanimous because anytime the block Panther goes at the rim and takes something away from the glass like that, you got to give him the credit for it. We hadn't seen that as much as we needed to.
100%.
We wanted to,
100%.
and we should be seeing it, right? So that Jaren needs to continue to play the way that the team needs him to play, and we saw him do it on the defensive end on that play. I'm going to give it to Jaren right there.
No question. I'm with Michael. Would love to give more to Jaren. Needed it against Harrison Barnes last night in those closing 3 minutes when you're matched up against them. When we come back, we'll put the confidence meter on our panel. What's their confidence level now, 15 games into the season, that the Grizzlies will make the playoffs? And we'll talk to WMC TV Action News 5 sports director Doc Holliday about the Grizzlies' upcoming joint broadcast. Keep it locked. This is Grizz Beat on Grind City Media.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GBWR.
Jeff Dunham, Artificial Intelligence, his all-new tour.
You're the other white meat. How can you be so smart on one hand and so stupid on the other? Well, you're half of it. I realize I could have avoided all this years ago with one simple word. I do not. Silence!
Don't miss a Memphis. Friday, April 10th, FedEx Forum. Tickets on sale Monday, September 29th at jeffdunham.com.
Nate Bargatze.
Look, I say a lot of dumb stuff. I try to keep it in front of large groups. Seems to go better that way.
Big Dumb Eyes World Tour.
When you say something dumb one-on-one, it's a lot for that person. I'll say it, then I can just feel that they feel the weight of my life on their shoulders.
Tickets and info at NateBargatze.com. Don't miss the Big Dumb Eyes World Tour. Nate Bargatze.
Calling all collectors! Topps NBA basketball trading cards are back. It's available in the Grizzlies Den by Fanatics and online at Topps.com. Rip into bold color parallels, electric inserts, relics, and autographed cards from today's biggest stars and the next-gen talent. Look out for rookie cards of Cooper Flagg and Dylan Harper, plus Grizzlies favorites Ja Morant, Jalen Wells, and so many more. You don't want to miss this drop. Grab your set before it's gone.
The Grizzlies are now easier to watch than ever. Select games can be viewed over the air for free in the following markets: Memphis, Nashville, Knoxville, Jonesboro, and Tupelo. Don't miss a second of the heart-pounding action with the first televised matchup Thursday, November 20th, when the Grizzlies host the Sacramento Kings at 7 p.m. Visit grizzlies.com/watch. That's grizzlies.com/watch for channel listings and for more information. Welcome back to GrizzBeat. It is confidence meter time. Time to gauge our panel's belief level on three key topics. As of this afternoon, gentlemen, the Grizzlies are 1.5 games out of 10th place in the West. Sane, what's your confidence level that the Grizzlies can salvage the season with a playoff appearance?
It's looking sick right now, my guy. It's probably I'm not confident at all, man. It's too much going on. It's like me and Stephanie said earlier, it's a lot of chaotic things going on with this team. Injuries, the coaching situation, the unrest with Ja Morant, all those type of things. Guys not rising to the occasion. It ain't looking good right now, Jason Smith. But hey, it's a long season. Stuff can happen. You're gonna get Ty Jerome back. You're gonna get Zach Edey up to speed. But right now, today, I cannot confidently say I think this team can make a play-in run.
Stephanie, you pointed out correctly that the Grizzlies are down some key pieces, including Ja Morant. Hopefully that's just 2 weeks. When they get it all back, can they salvage it by making the playoffs? What do you think?
I am not confident at all. I don't think so. I mean, the West is just too thick. I mean, when you look at the standings right now, it's not just that they're out of it, it's who they would have to pass to get back in. I don't see it happening.
How about you, Michael?
I'm confident. And until I'm told that this is not the season that they're trying to get to the playoffs, then I'm going to be confident because I'm going to hold them to the standard that they should be at. And that goes back to my previous comment about, whether this team and whether Zach Kleiman needs to make a move. If you have Jaren Jackson Jr. and Ja Morant healthy, not making the playoffs is unacceptable, clearly. Mm-hmm. So I am confident because I believe in them when they're right. And I agree with Anthony. When these injuries happen, when these guys start working their way back, they can make a run towards the end of the season, right? Mm-hmm. And to Stephanie's point, if you look, you're 1.5 games out, yes, right, of the play-in. Mm-hmm. But who's 8-9? So who's 7, 8, 9, and 10 right now? Is anyone at 7, 8, 9, and 10?
The Phoenixes.
That the Grizzlies can't get a win over and get into the 8th seed or whatever if they have to. So I'm still confident, not very confident, and not confident, but I'm confident they can still salvage it.
But to that point, and the question we had earlier, it's going to require a move, you think, to do that? I mean, Ja and Jaren out there, you had said Zach needs to seriously.
Unless Ja and Jaren is moved, then my confidence and my assessment of this team changes.
I give you some.
But somebody's got to say, this ain't working, this is not what we're doing, we're going to pivot. But as long as you have these two guys at this premium and what they should be doing and what they have done, these are playoff players. And if they're healthy, this team needs to be in the playoffs. So I'm confident they can still do it.
Zach Edey has grabbed 18 rebounds in the 2 games since returning to the lineup from off-season surgery. What's your confidence level that Edey's going to average a double-double this season? Saying we'll start with you.
Man, you know I'm an Edey guy, man. I think he's definitely going to do that. He's kind of picking up where he left off last year when Coach Iisalo came into the mix or whatever. He's been looking really good, and he's still. You're talking about a guy who did not have an off season. He didn't have any time to recoup, or any time to work on anything really because he physically wasn't able to. I think once he gets going, we're going to see some really scary hours out there from Zach Edey, man, for sure. I'm excited to see it too.
How about you, Michael? We looking at a double-double average?
I match him. I'm very confident. You know, he's played 2 games. Remember, he's on a minutes restriction, and he's averaging right at a double-double right now. Yep. Almost 11 points and 9 rebounds in 2 limited stretches, right? Give him 30 minutes, give him 35 minutes or whatever he's going to be averaging, and he'll easily get that double-double just because of his size and his presence, and then he's going to only build on that.
He's got to stay out there to do it. Stephanie, are you confident that he will and average a double-double?
I am confident. Not very confident, but I am confident. I do feel like the small sample size that we've seen so far, like you said, Michael, points us in that direction because he's essentially averaging a double-double after these first 2 games. And I do expect those numbers to go up. The problem I'm having is just I don't know what's going to happen with this roster. And I think the people that are around Zach Edey will have a huge impact on his ability to be able to produce a double-double every night.
No question. Well said. Last one with Edey back in the lineup, and as we said, and Morant out as the team's top scoring option. What's your confidence level that we'll see the best version, we've talked about how important it is, of Jaren Jackson Jr. over the next 2 weeks? Michael, we'll start with you.
Man, I was confident, and I am confident, right? I think Jaren is going to break through this. He's taking the shots. He's being more aggressive. He's just not making the shots right now. And he was as hard on himself after last night's game in San Antonio as I've ever seen him. He basically said I was absolutely abhorrent, and he used the S word to describe his play. You know, and you know, for him to say that is okay, putting the onus on him. With Ja out, and with Edey creating space for him, he's got to eventually take advantage of that. I think he will.
I was listening to you on the radio broadcast against the Cavaliers, and you said you were watching a man. It sounded different from the Jaren we had seen earlier. You saw the difference once Edey was back.
Yeah, and he shot 26 shots, right? He didn't make a lot. He got to the free throw line 12, 14 times. And he was going up against, you know, one of the best front lines we have in the league, you know, in Jared Allen and Evan Mobley. So if he can do that, then he has to play from that same blueprint every single night. The shots will fall. He just has to be a little more disciplined.
How about you, Stephanie? You buying what Michael's selling? Your confidence level high on Jaren Jackson?
Yes, I am buying it. I am very confident, actually. I feel like with the circumstances, with Ja being out, Jaren understands what's at stake. This is a team that's trying to establish their identity, trying to establish a winning culture, and Jaren is at the head of that snake. So I expect that he will produce in abundance, especially coming off of his own report saying that he was not happy with the way he played. I think we're going to see an entirely new all-star level Jaren Jackson Jr.
Oh, I like to hear what you said, Michael, that he's looking in the mirror as opposed to trying to make excuses for what clearly wasn't up to his standard game yesterday. Now we're going to switch gears. What, Saint, did we get your
No, we didn't get Saint.
I'm sorry.
Y'all
I want to switch over.
This was most of the moment for me, man. Jaren, my guy, man. But nah, man, it's I'm confident. I know it's hard to be confident after the way he closed the game the other night, but he was having a very productive game, you know, in both of the games since Ja's been out. He's just got to be good, man. It's like no excuses for it. He just has to go there, and I think he of course has the tools to go there. And something I am liking since Edey has been back is we've seen Jaren on the ball using Edey as a screener in the 2-man action like that. So I think that's something that can definitely help Jaren out. But he's just got to go there, man. Like it's tough. Y'all know Jaren, my guy, but it's tough. It's gonna be a tough out for him, but I am confident he can make it happen.
Started that game well. Last night against the Spurs, just did not close well when the Grizzlies needed a closer, Michael.
Yeah, they did. They needed a closer, and he was in, you know, the ball is in his hands to be able to do it. And he forced, because he was ineffective, he forced some other guys to have to be able to do it. Cedric Coward wasn't really ready for that moment. Jock Landale missed a couple free throws down the stretch. Edey missed a short bunny hook. Jaren's got to be able to take over in that situation like De'Aaron Fox did and like your guy did. I wanted to go, and Harrison Barnes. I did want to ask Stephanie something, though, based on what Sane has said, and you talked about it being emotional. Stephanie, you coached the game. You know, obviously you coached the game at a high Division I level. You played the game and all of those kind of things. When you look at Jaren Jackson Jr. and sort of the canvas of skill set that he has, how can he still continue to improve on that? And is it sometimes, are you just not a number one option and you just have to be what you are? Or is there still another level that he can reach that somebody needs to help him unlock?
That number one option, that's a great question, right? Because I think it depends on a lot of things. And some of that has to come from within. You have to be that dog. You have to want it. You have to believe and have the confidence in yourself no matter what. I've coached a lot of great players who they have this philosophy of I'm due, right? They could go over 20 and they're not thinking that the 21st shot is also going to miss. They're thinking, oh, I'm due. I've missed all these. I'm due to hit something because they have so much confidence in their ability. And I think that Jaren is there. I think that because he's always had to be the second best player or the second option on the offensive end, it has helped him form an opinion of himself. I think that's why these next 2 weeks without Ja are going to be really crucial for him. I think he has the ability to take over a game on both sides of the ball. We've seen him on defense regulate a game. He can do that. And I think with his skill set improving the way it has and evolving over the years, he can now take over a game on the offensive end. We've seen him have the ability to facilitate more than he had in previous years. Obviously, his rebounding is something that he can improve upon. Because of his ability, he can get more numbers in that category, and his shooting. It's sometimes it's just as simple as shot selection. Just because you're open or just because you know you can make that shot may not be the best shot in that moment. And I think that will continue to evolve for him also.
Hopefully with the increased opportunity. We saw it last year when Ja was off the floor. Jaren's the number one option. He played very well and efficiently as that one option.
I just wanted to cheer Sane up. That's all. I
appreciate it.
And I knew Stephanie could cheer Sane up.
No question about it. Now, got a little ahead of myself. We'll switch gears and welcome on WMC TV Action News 5 Sports Director Doc Holliday, who joins us via Zoom to talk about the broadcast partnership that's taking place between the Memphis Grizzlies, Gray Media, and FanDuel Sports Network to simulcast seven upcoming Grizz games in Tennessee's 3 largest markets. Of course, that's Memphis, Nashville, and Knoxville. And Doc, if I'm right, it all starts tomorrow night at 7 p.m. on WMC TV?
Of course, man. But first, it's a pleasure to join you all fellas and fella-ette, you know what I'm saying? And I got to say all praises to the Most High. And Anthony Sane, man, congratulations, man. I say you got the Suge Avery on, man. I's married now, so get that out the way. But yes, man, you know, the Grizzlies, Sacramento Kings, simultaneous casting on Action News 5 tomorrow with FanDuel Sports. So looking forward to it, man.
Doc, well, this is something that the Grizzlies, FanDuel, and WMC and the affiliates started last year. When you have a chance to bring this team to the broader market, how important is that? And then, you know, when you do your broadcast, I mean, what is your message to Grizz fans right now? First on obviously having the exposure to be able to bring these games to other markets, but also what they need to be feeling right now as they try to wait for the patience for this team to get going.
Hey, well, we're Memphis, man. This is Memphis' team, man. This is Memphis' child. This is Memphis' cousin. This is Memphis' uncle. The Grizzlies are Memphis' aunts, man. So this family, man, just like any good family member, a family member you love, you may not always like them, but you always love them and you always support them as long as they're trying to do the right thing. Like I have some family members, man, they try to do the right thing. They be messing up. I still love them, but I got some family members that ain't trying to do the right thing and I can't stand their ass. So the Grizzlies trying to do the right thing, man. You know, we got some injuries. So I always try to spotlight them and highlight the Beale Street Bears in the positive light. And, you know, I'm always patient with it, man, even though we get upset, but it's still our squad.
Doc, is somebody like me who's a known bootlegger of everything I watch on television. I finally switched over, and I'm paying for FanDuel this year, right? But even with that being said, I'm excited to be able to see these games being, you know, telecast, you know, on the local network. Is this a partnership that you think could probably expand? We could see more and more games in the future on WMC.
Of course, man. You have the management staff here at Action News 5, General Manager Jonathan Mitchell, and the leadership staff of Gray Media, man, working with the Memphis Grizzlies. with this partnership, man, because, before cable television and all that, man, we had free TV. So for a lot of people who don't have cable, who don't have apps on their phone, who can't get ESPN or FanDuel Sports Network, it's a great opportunity, man, to watch the Grizzlies and expose the Grizzlies to a lot of other fans that may not necessarily see them. So even for the Grizzlies making the decision to partner with us, man, I think it's a great idea, man. And I would advise everybody to tune into the broadcast because, like I said, it ain't nothing like the free, and it just reminds me of when I was a child that you can tune into these networks like NBC, man, and watch professional sports for the free.
Doc, you had your finger on the pulse around here for a long time, man, as someone born and raised here. And, being a former, you're always going to be a Tiger. I'm not going to say former athlete, but you're a Tiger through and through. Basketball Tiger, when you look at the football Tigers and you look at the Memphis Grizzlies, man, give us a word of encouragement to pull us out of these doldrums, man, that all three of these programs are facing right now, and you're covering it all.
Well, my whole thing, man, I like to put things in perspective, bro. It's sports at the end of the day. It's entertainment, man. You're not going to win. You're not going to die if they lose. You're not going to, get to heaven if they win, man. I like to keep things in perspective, man. Of course, we want our teams to win. We want to be successful, but I approach every day of life like, okay, I'm healthy. My wife is healthy. My children are healthy. Hopefully everybody that play for these sports teams is healthy. Everybody that's watching them are healthy. So that's how put things in perspective, man. You watch sports to be entertained. It's an entertainment. Don't live and die by what these cats are doing on this basketball court because still got real life. But I know we want greatness. I know we expect greatness. We want to be happy, but we have had some happy moments. They have to remember that you can't control injuries, man. A lot of cats are injured. I mean, it's not their fault. They're out there playing hard. When they're out there playing, you can't doubt sometimes you can't doubt their effort, but you can't control injuries, man. And cats are injured. So I just tell them to keep things in perspective, man. I always look in the mirror and be like, okay, the Grizzlies may have lost, but I'm breathing on my own. My heart is beating on its own. My lungs are operating on their own. I don't have to tell them. So that's how I go through life, bro.
Doc is healthy. Doc, you're healthy. Hey, can you run the point? We're down 4 point guards around here. You like the Adrian Peterson of Memphis media, not aging. You got a little left in the tank. Maybe you can run point for us. Be a dog for us.
Hell no to the no. Hell to the no. I can't do nothing for him, man. I can't do nothing for him, bro. But hey, I'm still looking forward to them getting better, man. It will be all right.
Doc, appreciate you joining us. We'll be watching you on the broadcast tonight. Of course, we'll be watching against the Kings tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Really appreciate Doc Holliday joining us. When we come back, we'll welcome Stephanie back to the show and do our weekly spin around the rest of the NBA. Who's NBA Coach of the Year, at least according to our panel, through 1 month of the season? Which team's been the biggest fraud? Stay tuned. We'll discuss it. This is Grizz Beat.
Watching the Grizzlies is easy with FanDuel Sports Network. If you have cable or satellite, you're all set. Find us on your channel lineup. You can also use your TV provider login to watch games on the FanDuel Sports Network app. No cable or satellite? Subscribe directly to FanDuel Sports Network online. You can also watch on Prime Video by adding a FanDuel Sports Network subscription. Not sure where to start? Visit FanDuelSportsNetwork.com to learn more.
The long goodbye begins. A very special evening with Journey. Final Frontier Tour. Journey. Tickets are on sale now at JourneyMusic.com. Your chance to say goodbye to the songs that changed our lives. Journey. Final Frontier Tour.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing beats catching your Grizzlies IRL, and nobody knows that better than you. So next time you want to hit up a game, Ticketmaster's got your back with tickets to every upcoming matchup. Whether you're catching the Grizzlies at home or on the road, you'll find tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Keep putting that jersey collection to use and get Grizzlies tickets today. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside again soon, Memphis.
Look who it is, Brooks Monahan's here. Undefeated 16-0-3, and now heading into the NCAA tournament undefeated.
I couldn't be prouder of the kids, but if you would have asked me, if we would have been sitting here back in the summer before we started, and you would have said, you're going to go 16-0-3, I would have thought you were, I told you were crazy.
You thought this was a rebuild year.
Yeah, I hate using the word rebuild, but yes.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Go platinum with the Grizz and get your tickets for the first City Night of the season on Thursday, November 20th. Yes, it's tomorrow when they take on the Sacramento Kings at 7 p.m. Fans will also want to mark their calendar for Friday, December 5th versus the Los Angeles Clippers when the Grizz push play on their City Edition jerseys once more, and the first 5,000 in attendance receive City Edition sunglasses. Purchase your tickets today at grizzlies.com/tickets. Again, it's grizzlies.com/tickets. How about a look at that thing? Ooh, and then nice. Saints got it out for us. Take a look over there.
Hey, how many? Y'all know exactly how many of these y'all got, Mike?
Yes, we do. Flip that thing around, man. Show them the back. Show them the back.
That is a clean, clean City Edition jersey.
And the thing is, the camera doesn't do it justice with the platinum pinstripes in the middle, man. The Robin Hood patch right there. It's a beautiful, beautiful jersey. And we talked about it a couple weeks ago about our favorite Grizzlies jerseys, and that's going to definitely crack the top 1, 2.
Absolutely.
Sure.
absolutely outstanding.
That merch will be there. That merch will be there at the Grizz Den, at the stores, and everything else, man.
This
so
particular one may not, though.
Yeah, we're going to find it. We're going to find it.
Saint said you're not getting that one. Saint says you're not getting that one. Now we'll take a look at the rest of the league like we do on a weekly basis with some fill in the blank. I'm going to make a statement. Our panel's going to fill in the blank. Saint, we'll start with you. Through the season's first month, my NBA Coach of the Year is?
Man, it's my guy, Mark Daigneault in OKC, man.
Your guy.
It's my guy. Hey, I like coaches that stay out the way, man. The coaches you don't even like. What's his name? Yeah, him. Them type of coaches. Like, for real. Cause I think that's a good coach, man. When people don't really know what your name is, but your team is good, you're a good coach, man. Cause you staying out the way. You let the players do their thing. No, but and all joking aside, he's an awesome coach, man. They have continuity there. They're without Jalen Williams so far, and he's a great developer. He's got that team not missing a beat, looking better than they looked last year, even as the NBA World Champions. And they're snowballing. They're snowballing the entire league, and I think he's incredible. And they're looking good again.
No question about it. I mean, they've been shorthanded and still looked absolutely outstanding to start the year. Stephanie, where are you at on Coach of the Year through the first month?
Yeah, I think that's a great pick. I went with JB Bickerstaff, though. I feel like he is proving himself yet again to be an excellent coach. And for some reason, he does not seem to get the credit that he deserves. When he left Cleveland and they had a great season the year he left, they all seemed to think like it was like a magical thing that happened without his input over the previous years. And now he gets to Detroit and basically has to build it up from the ground. Not to say that there weren't talented people there, but there needed to be an extreme culture shift. And what we're looking at now with the Pistons, with their winning streak, they're leading the East. They are very confident. They look like they are who they are and they know what they want. They're owning who they are, their identity. I like that, and that comes from the coach. So I went with JB Bickerstaff.
I think that is my pick. I love that you picked JB. He is a builder, and typically will take a situation. That's the ones he's gotten where they haven't been ideal situations, and yet once he's there, they get better. And that Detroit team has bought in. They're grown men now. It's all because of JB Bickerstaff. My fear is much like with Cleveland, and maybe it was the right time, is that once JB gets it to a certain level, that organization decides to move on, he should get sort of his due in terms of seeing it through. Love the JB Bickerstaff pick. Michael, who's your coach of the year?
I'm gonna take a guy that's a little bit of both of the two that they both mentioned. And when you talk about personality, knowing how to get out of the way, Ime Udoka knows how to get out of the way when it's time. But he also knows how to bring that fire and brimstone like JB Bickerstaff when he needs to. So I think he sort of brings together both of their characteristics. And what he's doing in Houston right now, remember, they're doing it without a point guard.
Right.
And his development as a coach for what he's doing with Amen Thompson, his ability to make KD feel welcome and defensive. Like KD ain't played defense in 6 years, right? And he's out there blocking shots and getting steals. And then to still be able to unleash Alperen Şengün. Like, what if they lost? Like, everybody talks about sacrifice when you bring everybody together. And it seems like everybody's still eating.
Yep.
And so for him to be able to do that and have that tenacity and that temperament to do it at the top, all three of these choices that we had are fantastic. But I'm going to go with Udoka.
And he's not there anymore, but he revigorated Dylan Brooks' career in Houston, too. He totally helped him change the image that he had when he was here, for sure.
Yep. Yeah. Saw this in New Orleans a couple nights back. Draymond Green confronting a fan. So for this fill in the blank, we'll ask you this. Draymond Green confronting a fan in the middle of a game. Michael, we'll start with you.
Well, when you look at that right now, man, I think it's asinine. It's asinine that it got to that level where, number one, nobody came and just pulled the fan back, and you shouldn't have the referee have to step in. Like, security should have been there 10 seconds before it got to that point, because had that fan intended some harm to a player, it would have happened right there. If Draymond Green would have popped off and did something, inappropriate, he shouldn't even have gone over there. But again, we continue to allow Draymond Green to do these asinine things and not get a full-length suspension for it. Somebody needs to send a message to him, because not only is he putting himself in danger, I'm talking about full-length suspension. Not only is he putting himself in danger, he's putting his other teammates and other security and other fans in danger by doing stuff like that. And I'm not saying that's his fault, but I'm saying that's an asinine thing for it to have happened when I saw it.
Anthony said he was basically being called a woman, and as a father, he's not going to take that. What did you think of the confrontation?
Yeah, I got a little triggered about it. The asinine part to me is walking up on 6'9" Jimmy Kimmel looking dude. Because that dude was bigger than Draymond, which is, he need to get on the court. But now, I think that part was crazy. But there is an element of it that is understandable, man. Because it's like my rule of thumb is, don't call men women, don't call women men, man. Like Draymond said, especially with a lot of the heated conversations and the undertones that come with the Angel Reese conversation. I don't know, I'm an Angel Reese.
That was the one.
Whatever Angel Reese fan club is, I'm a proud member of that. But there's so much heated and coded things that come with those type of remarks. I think that the combination of that plus being called out of his gender, I could see that triggering that man for sure. Because that can be a little bit too much. Like Draymond said, the first time it was funny. Then he kept saying that and adding other things to it. I could see Draymond getting in the dude's face, but I didn't even think about the element of where the security at, man. It looked kind of crazy, and nobody stepped in and did anything.
Yeah, no, the security was too late to it. It seemed like a potentially dangerous.
I like that word that Mike used, asinine. It was asinine.
Stephanie, we'll bring it to you. Draymond Green confronting that fan in the middle of the game is what?
Giving pick-me vibes. I don't know why he had to say a thing. I mean, I get it, right? It's some things that fans heckle are inappropriate. And they could even be extreme. They could be racist. They could be sexist. They could be something you would not want to say in front of a child. I get it. And I don't like it. But I feel like as an adult, especially as a parent, you have to learn how to turn the other cheek. I mean, we teach our children sticks and stones may break your bones, but names will never hurt me. That's the way we raise our kids. Who cares what the guy says? The fan is irrelevant in my opinion. And I feel like Draymond's been in this league too long. He's too old to care what anyone thinks. Now, if a fan throws something, makes contact with you, God forbid, spits on you, anything like that, then hey, the gloves are off. But words, who cares? Move on. I wouldn't even acknowledge it.
Yeah, and certainly allow security to handle it, right? I mean, the one thing about that, whether that fan's been drinking or not, you don't know what it could lead to. But Stephanie's right. I mean, you're called lots of things. I'm sure you're heckled all the time as an NBA player. There's got to be some line that you're willing to go up to. But that was clearly a situation the NBA is glad didn't escalate, obviously. Our last one here, biggest fraud of a team through the first month is, Sane, we'll say it.
Oh,
start us off.
Orlando, 10th in the East. They went out and got Desmond Bain from us, gave out 4 first-round picks. Have I said this joke on this network? Can I say this? That trade is aging like Olsen twins, man. I said that.
They're on the uptick, I'll say. Orlando's on the uptick a little bit.
They 10th in the East, man. We ain't talking about the West, bro. Them dudes 10th in the East. They got the same record as Boston, who ain't even got Jason Tatum. That team's supposed to be better than what they are now. We'll see, but it's looking like an Olsen twin right now. But we'll see.
Michael, biggest fraud?
Well, I know this question could have been taken in a couple of different ways, right?
Individually or team.
Yeah. Well, no. In terms of fraud, meaning started off great and is not really as good as they, or they just. I'm gonna go the other way, like almost like saying, like to me, I'm going to go the opposite way. I mean, I think the Clippers are the fraud because I think they're sandbagging right now. I really do. It would not surprise me if the Clippers run off 10 straight, 12 straight, and then get back up again because they have too much talent, too many veterans, too much. Like, I just think they're too experienced to be this bad. Tyronn Lue is such a great coach. I can't see it going this terribly wrong. Now, they did lose Bradley Beal, but that wasn't, like, that's a marginal player for them. He wasn't anybody that they were relying on.
But who's replaced Norman Powell?
That's the problem. They haven't been able to find a guy or settle into a guy. Kawhi had left the lineup as well, too. So I think in the next 20 games, they're going to be a lot better than they were in these first 20. So I think they're a fraud right now for how bad they are.
Interesting, bro. They're sandbagging is what they're doing.
That's what I'm saying.
They've got to be better.
They got to be
better. Stephanie, for you, biggest fraud through a month?
I actually interpret it a completely different way. I picked the Toronto Raptors because I feel like they're doing really well right now. Top 4 in the East. I don't think they can sustain it. I think they're fraudulent because I think they will not be that high up when the season is all said and done. I do not have the faith in their ability to continue to win games at a high clip.
No, well done there. You went the other way, and that was me a couple of weeks ago on the Chicago Bulls when they were up at the top of the East, and you see where they're at now, having sunk on down. Now let's run some pick and roll with our panelists here. They're going to pick one of two options and explain why they're going to roll with it. This week's question, who's most likely to get another shot at their position? Former Dallas GM Nico Harrison or now former New Orleans coach Willie Green? Stephanie, we'll start with you.
I'm going with Willie Green, and that was so easy for me. First of all, just considering position alone and not even considering the person that's involved, coaches are much more likely to get another job because they can not only become a head coach for a different franchise, but they can also be an assistant coach. They could be a consultant. They can work in basketball operations office. So there's lots of different pathways that a former head coach could then take. And we could even see it happen this year. An executive, it is a lot more difficult. If you are getting let go, and it was widely publicized that a lot of people didn't agree with what you did to get let go, it is going to be very difficult for a team to hire you as an executive. And you likely are not going to be a coach in the case of Nico Harrison, because remember, he came from the corporate world. He's not a former player that went on to become a general manager or work in a basketball operations department. So he is pigeonholed, if you will, on the executive side. I can't see him really going on to the court per se. So for that reason alone, I would say Willie Green. But then also when you consider the person, Willie Green is loved. You will be hard pressed to find a person in this league that will have something bad to say about Willie Green. He is such a good person. He is the type of person that encourages people. He believes in people, and he is always, always positive. When you go into his office to talk to him, there's a Bible on his desk, and it's actually been read. It's not just there for decoration. You can see it's well worn. So I think that Willie Green will certainly find another job.
Saying where you at, I think she's Willie Green's. You can argue has been dealt a bad hand.
Yeah.
Is he the guy that can get his job back?
There's so much benefit of the doubt you can give him because that New Orleans situation has just been so all over the place his entire time he was there, and he's like a pretty respected guy. When it comes down to Nico, man, I mean it already goes without being said the things have been said about him, and like Stephanie said, it's not like he can. He's a GM. It's like there is no other path back other than being a GM again. There's so many other things that Willie could do, and he can't even. Steph Curry is a shoe free agent. He can't even go back to Nike. He might go work at the Nike factory, work at Foot Locker or something. That brother can't even go to the Nike factory, I don't believe. But yeah, it's tough for him. It's gonna be tough for Nico for sure. But I definitely can see. I can see, like Stephanie said, I can see Willie getting the gig this season.
Mm-hmm. Where you at, Michael?
You know what? I can certainly see the case that both of them made, but I'm going to play devil's advocate, and I'm going to go Nico Harrison. Here's the reason why. Number one, when's the last time a black head coach got another job after bottoming out in any other organization like that, unless you're Doc Rivers, right, for the most part? You have to be able to be somebody special, somebody that an organization is going to believe in. Now, Willie's young. He can get another shot. I'm not saying he can't. But let's not forget, man, it was just 2 years ago when Nico Harrison guided from the general manager's office, made the big trades that landed P.J. Washington and Daniel Gafford, recycled that Dallas defense, got them to the NBA Finals with Luka Doncic doing his thing. He landed Klay Thompson and Kyrie Irving in transactions. He was the hottest GM in the league 2 years ago. Then he became the not-so-hottest one after that. Give him a few years to kind of let this calm down. There might be a desperate team for him to get back in, and we'll see. But I certainly think he deserves another shot. This was just a bad situation with Luka Doncic from that standpoint.
The author of what some have labeled one of the worst trades in sports history. We'll see if Nico Harrison can break back into it. Like
remember,
you said, might have to be a desperate franchise.
I'm just playing devil's advocate, right? But I'm just saying, remember, at one point, Masai Ujiri had to trade Carmelo Anthony in a very one-sided trade because Carmelo wanted out. Yeah. And he dictated the terms and got to New York. Denver never really recovered from that trade until Jokic came years later. So, and look at what happened with Masai. He ended up going to Toronto, winning a chance. He got another shot, right? Yeah. But his reputation was a little bit different. A lot different than Nico's, obviously.
Yeah. We'll wrap up this week's edition of the show by taking a look at what's ahead for the Grizzlies this week, and then a call your shot tomorrow night, like we've talked about down here at FedEx Forum. They'll take on the 3-win Sacramento Kings on Saturday, November 22nd. It's 4-11 Dallas that you travel to. You've beat them once this season. Hopefully you can get them again. We mentioned this stretch of schedule lightening up, and you need those. And then finally, on Monday, November 24th, Nikola Jokic coming into town with the Nuggets. They'll take on the Grizzlies there before we get back to you on Wednesday. And now call your shot. We'll do one bold prediction from each of our panelists about this upcoming stretch of games before we see you again next Wednesday. Stephanie, we'll start with you. Call your shot.
The Grizzlies will go 2-1 during this next stretch of 3 games.
Need it.
Sacramento and Dallas. No, I'll take it, Stephanie. I hope you're right. Michael, call your shot.
I'm going to call my shot and say the Grizzlies upset the Denver Nuggets. They pulled lightning from a bottle and upset the Denver Nuggets.
Now, that is bold. Certainly hope that happens. Sane, you got a bold one for us?
Yes. We don't just get an update because those updates can be bad. We get a positive update by my guy, Ty Jerome. Ty Jerome is going to get a positive update. That we're hearing we're going to get Ty Jerome back soon.
Oh, he could address so many things. Point guard issues, shooting issues, all of it. That's our show for this week. Thank you to our panelists, Sane, Stephanie, Michael Wallace, and thank you to WMC TV Action News 5 Sports Director Doc Holliday for joining us. Thanks as well to CJ Hurt and our wonderful team here at Grind City Media. For our entire Grizz Beat team, I'm Jason. Keep grinding.